Aviation, because next year in October, of course, 2014, Ghana will be hosting different people from across the world for the International Air Expo, and we are privileged to, welcome all these people. And of course, by welcoming them, we say this is the gateway to Africa. We have an airport that still needs some facelift. Well, the aviation, the transport minister will tell you that they are working very hard and things will be done very soon. And also, how are they getting in? Of course, through different airlines or by different airlines. We don't have an airline yet. But for now, let's get into that discussion and talk about the Expo, and then we can talk about other issues around it. In the studio with me, I have Dr. Mobeen Mutara, I'm sorry, Dr. Mobeen Mutara. He is the Chief Executive Officer of the International Center of Excellence in the United Arab Emirates. You're welcome to Ghana. Not your first time here.
Fourth time.
Fourth time.
Thanks
you
for
love
having
it?
Me. I love it, absolutely.
You came in with Emirates?
Yes, I came in with Emirates.
Would you have loved to come in with an airline owned by Ghana?
Well, with the vision I've seen from the minister, I think it's going to happen quite soon.
Okay. And he's here with Jifa Ativo, the transport minister. Good to see you this morning.
Thank you.
How far are we getting an airline?
Thank you for the opportunity, and good morning to your cherished viewers. You know, I don't believe in, talking about what went wrong. I want to see what we can do to remedy the situation. So the new national airline is being worked on. We went for expression of interest. You know, first of all, we are working it on a PPP basis. That's public-private partnership. And for us to be able to achieve it, we need a transactional advisor. So that's what we are on now. We're looking for a transactional advisor. The expression of interest has been published internationally, and we are evaluating the bids that were submitted. And once we are done, the process will continue, and we are believing that by the grace of God, by next year, we should have our Black Star flying high in the sky.
Really?
Yeah.
Next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are working on it seriously.
Okay, we'll come to that very soon. But for now, let's talk about the International Air Expo. Why was it so important for Ghana to host this expo?
Yeah, thank you very much. You will agree with me that the aviation sector is booming in our country. We have been experiencing about 8% growth over the years. And for us to showcase what we have, we need a platform. Maybe it's in the form of a trade fair to show the world what Ghana offers as far as aviation is concerned. That is why we approach our partners who are experienced in hosting such kinds of fairs to help us to showcase what Ghana has and the whole of Africa. This is an African expo, the first of its kind on the continent, and we are happy that we are hosting it. It means our partners also believe in Ghana. Why is it happening in Ghana? We have a stable economy. We have a stable political, democracy in our country. Everybody wants to come and do business in Ghana. We have a liberal airspace that we are operating. And we think Ghana, the hub of the West African sub-region, is well positioned to host the fair.
Okay, you are here for the fair, launch the fair.
Yeah.
Why do you think it was critical for Ghana to host this one?
Well, I think first of all, Ghana is a hub. It has an ideal geopolitical location, and I think it speaks to a fresh and new agenda for aviation, not only in Ghana but in Africa. Ghana's growth rate, as the Honourable Minister is saying, is almost double the global growth rate in aviation. And there's a massive opportunity here to begin to market and showcase Ghana to the rest of the world. As you mentioned earlier, I flew in on Emirates. I think the time has come to tell the world that there's a new agenda. As I said earlier, I think we're having a conference and convention as well. We'll be discussing and debating issues that are related to where Ghana sees itself in the next 20 to 30 years. Globally, there are over 300,000 jobs which the aviation industry will require by 2025. And there's a human capital development center being set up at Kotoka International Airport as well. So I think Ghana is positioning itself from a human capital development position, from a general aviation perspective, I think strategically, to tell Africa and to tell the world that this is the hub for aviation in Africa.
Okay, now you talked about a boom in the aviation industry here in Ghana, and we're expecting several people to come in here next year to be part of the Expo. Really, what are we hoping to achieve with such a glitz event? Because it won't be the first time we are hosting an Expo in Ghana. What are we hoping to achieve?
Well, we believe strongly that when we showcase what we have.
What do we have?
I've just mentioned everything. I mean, economic growth, stable democracy. It encourages people to come into your country to invest. So we want to channel it through the aviation sector, because when we host the fair, many exhibitors are coming, and we want to establish partnership with them to enable us develop our infrastructure. Because, even though the air traffic is growing, the infrastructure is lagging behind.
That is what I was coming to. That.
Yeah,
what
so
exactly
I need to explain to you before you even mention it.
Yes, because infrastructure
we have
is
identified
really not
that
there.
the infrastructure is lagging behind. But you agree with me that some work has started. We are working on Kumasi Airport. We are working on the Tamale Airport. Kotoka, the process is ongoing for us to get the partnership with a competent contractor to at least work on the terminal building. When you go to the airport now, there's some work ongoing. We are creating more space for the aircraft to park, which we call the apron. It's being worked on to park about 8 wide-body aircraft. Work is ongoing. It is only the terminal building that we have a problem with, and we are working seriously to transform that one also. The drawings are ready, been submitted to us, and we are serious about it. We are happy to say that the political will is there, because in this year's budget, the 100% airport tax has been released to Ghana Airports Company to use for infrastructure development. So the political will is there. We will use the money judiciously to ensure that we transform our airports. In the State of the Nation address of His Excellency the President, he did mention that where we have airports already, they will be improved upon, and where there is none in the regions, they will make efforts to provide them with some kind of aerodrome or airports where possible. So the political will is there for us to transform the aviation sector, and I've already mentioned that we have acknowledged that even though there's growth in traffic, the infrastructure is not matching. So consciously, we are working on that one also. And I want to assure you that the kind of foundation we have laid, the sky is the limit.
Okay, and for those already in the industry that we all say is fledgling, they have serious challenges, they have problems, and I'm sure it has come to you. Of course, recently we had Amtrak talking, Starbo has been talking, CityLink has been talking. They have challenges. Are these challenges going to be addressed ahead of this expo? Because you don't want investors to come in and see the challenges staring at them in the face. It's quite a disincentive, isn't it?
Challenges in their operations. Currently, we have 4 local airlines, and I think it's good for Ghana. Hitherto, we had only one, which monopolized the aviation industry. It wasn't good. Monopoly is not good. So we need to expand. We need to open up to other investors to come on board. So Ghana Civil Aviation Authority licensed 5 domestic airlines which were operating. One has kind of suspended these operations. What are the complaints? Because you agree with me that since the introduction of new airlines into our domestic airline industry, the fares have come down. There's competition. There is competition. Competition brings efficiency. So I don't know what the complaints are about. You know, we ourselves have realized that we cannot continue licensing domestic airlines because it will get to a point that it will be saturated. So what we
What's
did...
the maximum for you?
No, what we have done, but the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority has been monitoring the operations. So what they did last year, November, was to seek the ministry's approval to put on hold new licenses to encourage those who are already in the industry to grow. So that's a conscious effort to assist them. So I don't know what the complaints are about.
Okay.
I mean, beginning of every business, there are challenges, but once you dedicate yourself, I know that in the airline industry, the first 6 months you don't expect to make even profit. You don't expect to make profits. So they should continue to support the good people of Ghana because Ghanaians love traveling by air.
Okay. Now, let me come to you. You're coming from the International Center of Excellence, and of course, you're happy to be part of this Expo. What would you be expecting Ghana to do? Because your country has got it right. What kind of expertise are you providing?
Well, I think first of all, the network, we have a network because we are involved in organizing these events. 4M Events organizes the event in Abu Dhabi, as well as Cairns in south of France. This is the first time we have general, civil, commercial, and business aviation in Africa. So, we're going to use our network to be able to bring whichever top brands, or world's leading brands in aviation, to come to Ghana and to see for themselves what opportunities Africa presents. So I think first of all it's the network. Secondly, I think it's the expertise which I think we've garnered over the years, particularly in stirring debate and discussion around aviation. You must remember, even Emirates Airlines started in 1990 with only $10 million US. And it's just a land of sun and sand. And today Emirates Airlines is the biggest airline in the world. And we all know what the spin-offs of the exhibitions which were held in Dubai. And in the next month we're going to have the Dubai Air Show. What were the spin-offs which came out of those air shows? And it's not only in Dubai, it's in Abu Dhabi, it's all around the world. There's an air show in Munich at the moment. And look at the agendas which come out of there. So these exhibitions come through a network and a skills and an expertise set, which we think we can bring to bear for this particular expo.
Okay, I have to come back to you, Jifa, and then take you back to the Kotoka International Airport. What do you say to critics who say that indeed the Kotoka International Airport is not up to international standards? You get there, escalators sometimes don't work, very bad emergency exits. What do you say to these people?
When was the last time you visited Kotoka?
Oh, recently. The escalator didn't really work.
Work is ongoing.
It's true.
We are fixing new. You mean the escalator? Oh, sorry, I thought we were talking about the boarding bridges.
No.
No, it's part of the general refitting of the terminal building. It's included. So, whilst I acknowledge that there are some challenges, we are working seriously to address them.
Okay. When is it going to be ready, the Kotoka International Airport? Because we've heard of different
When we start, it should take
dates.
about 24 months for us to complete. So the process is ongoing. We believe that by the first quarter of next year, we should start the refurbishment.
Okay. Now,
this will come with boarding bridges so that passengers will no longer have to be at the mercy of the weather or rain.
Yeah, that one is quite discouraging, I must say.
I mean, I assure you.
It will be sorted.
The drawing is so beautiful, you'll love to fly.
Really? Yeah, it's different on paper, isn't it?
That's what we're going to do.
Okay. We've seen different things on papers, and then
This
it's
one
done and
will
it's
come to pass.